Yeah, what's goody team? What's goody team? What's goody team? Good evening. What are you gonna do with the WAP members? Just gonna transfer them over to the website once the website's on. Really no point right now in doing the WAP just 'cause nobody is on the WAP, but it's still up. It's definitely there still. But right now, just waiting for the website. Once people start getting active again on everywhere, 'cause it's the same here, right? So I just rather do these live streams public for more people to have access to it than to just do it on WAP where it's just gonna be the same people watching it live. You know what I mean? So, but once the website gets over, or once the website gets launched, we'll transfer over the. It'll be a brand new link. So we'll stop the payments on WAP. We'll transfer over to the website, and that'll be pretty much it. There's really nothing to do on WAP. There's really not a lot of. There's no point in doing it on WAP, right? Especially when the goal is to grow the academy, right? So we want more visibility. There's no visibility on WAP. Mr. Albert, welcome back, my brother. Mr. Bashir, welcome, welcome. I'm doing fantastic today, my brother. How are you doing? How are you feeling, Albert? Just want to give everybody a few more minutes to join, and then we will get started, gentlemen. Doing well is better today. That's good to hear. Glad to hear you're doing better. I hope when the website comes live, we'll still be affordable to join. Although that I saw here, I won't hesitate to join, but I am talking about this. Yeah, it'll be the same price point as the WAP. So 49.99 is what the WAP is on. So it'll be that same price point. That's so great. Yes, sir. Everybody good to go? No questions? Any questions? Any pairs you guys want me to go over in specific? Let me know. Before we get started, I'll give everybody another minute. Any questions at all? Let me know. And there was a pipe bomb. Damn, a pipe bursted. No questions in the chat, guys? Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. Alright, no questions in the chat. Let's get started. So, again, we're going to be going over the pairs that you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUD-USD, finishing off with US oil. We're also going to keep an eye on platinum. I was looking at that today. I want to see if that's a good pair to keep an eye on. Please update me on what I missed. No, bro, I just started. You haven't missed anything. If you meet for this session, you haven't missed anything. If you're talking about the last couple of weeks, the last couple of days, really nothing. Price has been in zones of in consolidation. A lot of these periods has been in zones of consolidation. Right now, the market conditions that we're currently in, just consolidation. So still waiting for the same things from the last time that you were here. I'm pretty sure. So we'll go over it. But if you have any questions or anything that you want me to go over again, just let me know. So AUD-USD, we know we are in level 3 on a downtrend, waiting for price to give us a set lower high, right? Price gave us the push down to the bottom that gave us a lower low, and we're looking for a lower high to be set. Again, our first point of interest that price tapped into last month, right, was already hit, went down, gave us the inducement, which we know, okay, cool. Our second point of interest as to where we're expecting price to give us a set lower high to then continue this downtrend is this 30-minute gap that price left us here at the top of the market. Right, so still have a little bit to go. Possibly by next week, we could continue to see price push up and give us that gap closure, and then we'll finally have price start downtrending from there. Right, and again, it'll be the same thing that we did a couple weeks ago. Once price got to these lows, if it gives us a break the next time, then we know we could continue. The fact that price gave us an inducement, we know that price was going to continue that push to the top side. So right now we're trading lower low, right high, lower low. Now price gave us a change of character, back to the top side over here. Right, let me switch this to this one. Not the right one I wanted. Alright. Fix this. We'll fix this. And we have this here, right? So we know that this is a 4-hour change of character back to the top side. Right, and we're trading between these 4-hour lows down here and these 4-hour highs. We still don't have any set 4-hour highs, so I'm going to keep it like this for now, and we'll update this tomorrow. And then on the 30-minute time frame, price is still giving us higher highs and higher lows. So just got to be patient. Exactly what we talked about for today. Even though price is at our first point of interest on the 4-hour high, right, and price gave us an inducement of the 4-hour high, we understand that we were still trading higher high, higher low. Right, and in order for us to continue to see price fall, we wanted to see price break these lows. We got the inducement with that 830 candle that came out. After it gave us the inducement, after it gave us the exhaustion candle, price went straight back to the top side. So we know that we're trading now between this higher low over here and these higher highs up here. We still don't have any set higher highs, so again, we'll wait for price to give us a set higher high before I move these boxes. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this highlighter here. It's not in the middle of the screen. On to the next pair. AUD-CAD is another one that is in an overall downtrend, but we are in the first zone of consolidation where price is rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. We rejected highs again, and price looks like it wants to continue to push back to the top side. So AUD-CAD is going to be another pair that for now, the only entry criteria I'm going to be looking for is once price reaches the top of the zone of consolidation. Once price reaches the top of the zone of consolidation and gives us an inducement of the highs, and we start seeing those downtrend pushes back down to the bottom, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades. Nothing really to talk about on the 4-hour, right? We had our zones marked up. We understood price was still giving us higher high, higher low, higher high, gave us a zone of consolidation. Again, in order for us to look for a trade, we either wanted to see price give us an inducement or the break. Ended up giving us a break of the highs and then just continued. So AUD-CAD just gonna wait it out. Once we start downtrending, then I'll start looking for those pushes back down to the bottom. Just gotta be patient for now. Had another day arise. For Euro AUD, daily time frame, we are in level 3 on an uptrend, expecting price to reach our previous peak highs over here at the highs. Zooming in, we know that we're in an area where price has been rejecting highs and lows. On a lower time frame, same thing. Gave us a shoulder head shoulder, broke the shoulder head shoulder on a downtrend, and continued the trend back down to the bottom. Very similar to AUD-CAD. Price gave us a zone of consolidation, ended up giving us the break of the bottom, and then just continued. We have another day of drop. Right, and we know we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Gave us a change of character, gave us a break of structure, gave us a third push. Gotta be patient with EA. Once we start trending with the overall trend that we have, which is the uptrend, that's when I'll start trading. EURUSD is in peak high territory, so I'm not trading this, but we'll keep this updated. I see the difference in the pullback. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Right, we're still in peak high. Just gonna keep it like this for now. Gave us another day of rise. Not gonna update EURUSD. We'll wait till the weekly market breakdown. We'll see how this week ends too. We can see that we're in a zone of consolidation where price is just rejecting lows and rejecting highs the entire time. So we'll be patient with EURUSD as well, man. We're in peak high territory. There's nothing to trade there. Just wait it out. EURUSD, we are in level 2 on an overall uptrend, right? We have push number 1 for zone of consolidation, push number 2, and we're trading at the higher high, right? Instead of just giving us a simple higher high, higher low to continue into a higher high, it gave us a zone of consolidation. So Euro USD is another pair where we just have to wait it out, right? Price gave us a change of character. It gave us an inducement of the break of structure. As soon as it gave us the inducement, went right back to the top side, right? So this is a pair where, once again, just need to be patient. Am I going to update? I'm not going to update this one just yet. We'll wait it out and see what price wants to do throughout Asia and London session, and then we'll update it tomorrow morning in the trading session. GA is in peak high territory, so this is another one that I'm not going to be trading. Once we start downtrending, whether it happens on the, it's gonna happen on the 4 hour first, right? Once we start breaking these lows of the 4 hour and we confirm the shift from an uptrend to a downtrend, that's when I'll start trading, right? And we had 1 day of drop on GA, gave us a 2nd day of drop, right? Market open gave us that 3rd push to the bottom already. And we're trading lower low, lower high, and lower low. Right, we had lower low, lower high, low, lower high, lower low. That one had a bit more internal structure, actually pulled back and bounced off the 50. Yep. GCAD. We are in level 3 on an uptrend. We are expecting price to at least reach our previous peak highs over here on the left hand side. And we know that at the higher high, price decided to just give us a zone of consolidation. So again, GCAD is another pair where I am not going to be looking to take any trades until we break these highs. Once we break these highs and we get a retest, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades. And then price for today was just in a little zone, a little range, ended up pushing to the top side. Gave us another day of rise, right? And this is a very ugly structure here, right? So we had higher high, higher low, and I'm going to say that all of this is part of the same structure all the way to the top side. The structure is very ugly for GCAD right now. But again, not trading GCAD until we get that break. Once we get the break of these highs, then I'll start looking to take these trades. So going to be patient for now. GJ on the daily time frame. We're still trading in peak high territory, right? We're still in an overall uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. On the push to the higher high, price decided to give us another zone of consolidation, very similar to GCAD. I'm not going to be trading GJ until we get this break. Once we get the break of these highs, then I'll start trading GJ once again, right? And the more time frames we go, the lower time frames we go, we see that price is just moving sideways. Exactly what it's supposed to be doing in these areas, just trapping traders, right? So going to be patient, gonna wait for the breaks. Once we get the breaks, then I'll start trading. No break, no take, as Booba would say. GU, very similar to EU. We're trading in level 2 on an uptrend, right? We had push number 1 here at the bottom to the top side, first zone of consolidation. We had the break of structure, higher high, higher low. The start of push number 2, level 2 back to the top side. We made a higher high, and instead of just giving us a simple higher high, higher low to continue into a higher high, decided to give us a little zone of consolidation. So GU is another pair, very similar to the other ones. You guys could see what type of market conditions we're in. This is what we were talking about all morning today, right? You got to always keep in your head, there's 2 different type of market conditions. There's only 2 things the market could do. Either trend or consolidate. That's it. Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, or moving sideways. And currently the market is just moving sideways. There is no trend. So until we don't get a break of these zones of consolidations, or until we don't get an inducement, there's no trades to be taken, right? So again, GU is another pair that we just have to be patient. We're back at these highs. All I'm looking for is for price to give us a break of these highs. Once we get a break of these highs, then it's crystal clear back to the top side. We're good, right? We're good to go. So just going to be patient. Not going to rush into any of these positions. As you guys could see, again, a lot of these pairs are reacting the same way. And there's nothing new, right? A lot of people would be scared of being in these areas, and there's nothing to be scared of, right? There's nothing to be scared of. NZD USD, we're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push back down to the bottom. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation on a daily time frame, right? Which we already know. Bottom of the zone of consolidation on a downtrend, not the safety trade, right? Every trade idea that you have down here is low probability, right? You go to the 4-hour, and we know that we're in a 4-hour zone of consolidation. And yes, even though price gave us a break of the zone of consolidation, again, everything that you see on the 4-hour time frame, on the 30-minute time frame, on the 5-minute time frame is low probability due to the fact that we're trading at the bottom of the zone of consolidation on the daily time frame, right? We can see that price is reaching our previous highs on the 4-hour time frame, right? And then on the 30-minute time frame, price just continued higher high, higher low, right? Higher high back to the top side, right? So we don't have a set higher high just yet, so we'll wait that one out. We'll delete this. Price gave us an inducement of the shoulder has shoulder, and as soon as it gave us the inducement, if you didn't wait for the valid break, then your price went straight to stop loss. Very, very straight to stop loss. So we're trading between these higher lows down here, and the higher highs aren't set yet, so we'll update this tomorrow morning. US 30, very similar to a lot of other pairs, right? Our US 30s in peak high territory. Come on, why are we not loading? Right, we're in peak high territory, very similar to, what is it, ECAD and GCAD, or ECAD and E and GA. Right, we're in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market. Right now, with US 30, I'm not going to be trading it. We had a zone of consolidation. Price gave us the break. Perfect. We'll let price move. Right? Whatever price wants to do, we'll let price do it. But I'm not going to be partaking in these areas. I will not be partaking in the US 30 moves as of right now. We're trading between these higher lows. Oh no. These higher lows down here, and we are now trading between these higher highs, where again we don't have a set higher high just yet, but for now we'll keep this up here. And we had a gap that opened up the market for today, and we can see that price already went down to fill that gap. Steve dropped a new video today, watched it, and really put things in perspective, that we minimized the unnecessary losses with market structure. But you've been said this, but I can see why now. Yeah, that's why I saw Steve post on his Instagram like 2 nights ago that he was gonna start posting, or that this week he was gonna post like 2 or 3 videos. So, like I've always told people, right? Like, if you have the time to watch Steve, and not even if you have the time, bro, like you gotta make the time to watch his videos. He puts things into perspective. And it's always better to hear things from more than one person, right? Because maybe something that I explained didn't make sense when I said it, but when you hear it from somebody else, you know, it makes sense when somebody else says it, right? So it's always good to have that extra confirmation from somebody else, especially someone else that's also trading, you know, that's successful at it. So it's not bad, right? So USD CAD currently, right? Let's talk about USD CAD real quick. So why am I so hesitant with USD CAD, right? And the answer to that is just based on market structure on the overall time frame, right? So on the daily time frame, we know that we're still trading between higher high, higher low, and higher high, right? So ideally, you would want to see price give us higher high, higher low to then continue into these higher highs, right? But then we start looking at the left-hand side, and we start looking at where we're at, right? USD CAD already completed the 3 pushes to the top side. It reached our previous peak highs with the current downtrend that we had, right? Push 1, push 2, push 3, then we started the uptrend, push 1, push 2, push 3, right? Once price gave us peak high, it gave us an inverse shoulder head shoulder, it gave us the first push to the bottom side, and now we can see price giving us a zone of consolidation, right? The first zone of consolidation on a downtrend, A1, above the 800 EMA. So when we're looking at the overall trend, we're still uptrending, right? But when we're looking at the market maker's pattern and the cycle that we're currently trading in, it looks like USD CAD wants to continue to give us these downtrend pushes, right? So with that being said, if we say that we're at the bottom of the, if we say that we're at the downtrend and we're in the first zone of consolidation and price went back to the top of the zone of consolidation, gave us the exhaustion candle, then we started the downtrend pushes, right? This is where we start looking for our confirmations, right? And this is how you're supposed to really look at the markets to be able to know, okay, is this high probability or low probability, right? The fact that the daily time frame is still uptrending, the fact that the 4-hour time frame is still uptrending, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's already letting me know, okay, these trades right now going short are very low probability. With that being said, now we go to the 30-minute time frame. What is the 30-minute time frame doing? The same thing as the 4-hour. Higher high, higher low, right? We broke these highs over here. Price gave us a higher high. Price never broke these highs. Price never broke these lows. Price came down, gave us a higher low. Pushed to the top side. Still looks like price is on the way to make a higher high. So I already understand, okay, cool. These pushes that we see on the internal time frame when we zoom in onto the 30-minute time frame, right? This push down to the bottom could just be an internal pullback, right? For price to continue, right? You had higher high, higher low, you had higher high. This pullback down to the bottom could just be a higher low to then continue into a higher high. So this is the reason why, yes, even though I have this 4-hour engulfing candle marked, it's just so I can have it marked so I can see exactly where price is, what it's doing and where it wants to go. But I'm not expecting price to give us a retest of this engulfing candle and then go short, because we are still on an uptrend. It doesn't matter what time frame we're in. So just have to be patient with that. I see a 4-hour shoulder head shoulder until we get a break of that. Sells are off the table. Yep, definitely could just be a pullback, higher low, higher high. Correction to US 30 makes sense too. Yeah, the correlation to US 30 makes sense too. Yeah, so that's the whole point too, right? And yeah, you're right, right? You do have another shoulder head shoulder here that price just gave us the inducement of these lows, right? And went back to the top side. But that's really, you can see how using all of these different techniques and market strategies, they all correlate, right? They all correlate because they all trade the same exact way. Right, the same exact way. So just have to be patient with USD CAD. Again, once USD CAD tells us exactly where it wants to go, once we start trending, that's when I'll start trading this. If there's no trend, there's no trade, right? The trend is your friend. It doesn't matter what entry confirmations you have. Oh, there's an order block. Oh, there's ICT and SMC and SRC and the CRV scat pack with the Jaguar F type. It doesn't matter what your entry strategies are. If you're not connecting your entry strategies to market structure, you're going to lose 50% of the time. And again, that's okay. You don't need a 100% win rate. You don't need a 90% win rate. You don't need a 70% win rate to be profitable, right? But once you understand the areas that you're trading in and why your 50%, 40%, 60%, even 70% win rate could turn into 80s and 90% win rates. Because you're not taking unnecessary losses in the market. You understand why this is a low probability area to take a trade in, right? You understand why the system that you have built, why it's losing in some areas in the market. You're always going to have that why. There is a why in the market as to why you're losing. We always say it, trading isn't gambling. So if trading isn't gambling, there has to be a reason why you're losing. And this is the exact same reason why you're losing. Is because you don't have the full understanding as to where you're trading. So Just keep that in mind. With USD ZAR, right, gave us another day of drop, gave us another change of character back down to the bottom side. So USD ZAR is another pair that, again, usually the correlation between USD CAD and USD ZAR are very similar. And the fact that right now they're trading looking a little different, right? The move for today was good, but when we look at the last couple days, when CAD was pushing to the top side, right, ZAR has been falling. So, like what Kendall said, right, the correlations between these charts are really going to, they're gonna tell us what we want to see before we even see it happen on the charts. Right, I'm not gonna update the 30-minute low just yet since we don't have a set low. Go on to the next one. With gold, this is another pair that I'm not going to be trading. We're in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market. We're also trading at a higher high, right? So as of right now, I am hands off on gold. The only time I'll be looking at gold and interested in trading it is once we start the downtrend. Once we start seeing lower lows and lower highs, that's when I'll be trading, right? A lot of traders are like, oh, we're in a zone of consolidation. If we get a break of these lows, we're going to continue to take a trade, going short. Again, just what we explained on USD CAD. Price is still giving us higher high, that was horrible, higher low, higher high. This break to the bottom could just be a fake out to make you get into that trade going short, for price to give you a set higher low somewhere in this area to then continue that uptrend push. So as of right now, again, gold is not on my radar. Gold will be on my radar as soon as we start downtrending and making lower lows and lower highs. That's when I'll start looking to take the trades. So for right now, just taking a step back from gold. Bitcoin is the same thing as US 30 and gold. We're in peak high territory, highest point in the market, making new highs, right? Price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, gave us higher low to the bottom. It looks like price wants to continue the push to the top side, right? The biggest difference with Bitcoin right now too is we do have structure on the left hand side because price already gave us a high, right? It set a high at 124 and started to push down to the bottom. The fact that price on Bitcoin did not give us a valid break of these highs here, right? We have higher high, higher low, right? Price gave us a little higher high, higher low, and then gave us an inducement here. Because of this inducement, makes me believe that this higher low that was set here is not a strong higher low to continue to see price push to the top side. If price would have just kept it at higher high, higher low, higher high, and then would have given us a just simple pullback to the bottom, right, then I would have said, instead of doing all of this crazy stuff over here, if price would have just given us a simple pullback to the bottom, or if price would have never tapped into these highs up here, then I would have felt more comfortable, you know, saying, yeah, we're going to see a higher low and we're going to continue into a higher high. So right now, I'm still not convinced that Bitcoin is going to continue this push to the top side. Now, could it happen? Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. It could do whatever it wants to do. It's crypto. Right? So as soon as we start trending, once we really see where price wants to go, that's when I'll start taking these trades. Right? And then price for today gave us a higher high, higher low, and gave us another push to the top side, higher high. So we'll be patient with it. I'm not going to update this just yet. We'll wait till tomorrow, and then we'll go on from there. US oil gave us a push today to the bottom side, tapped into our daily engulfing candle, 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. As soon as it tapped into it, no drawdown, just straight down. Right, as we talked about yesterday, unfortunately did not give us our entry criteria, man. It was too big of a stop loss. Never really gave us an entry on the lower time frames. Right, here we go again with another daily time frame engulfing candle. Like, oil does not want me to take it. Pause. Oil is like, nah, we're not going to give you the entries, man. It's all love. Again, I've said it. As soon as you give me that entry, bro, I'm fucking taking everything back. Everything you owe me, plus interest. Not leaving nothing on the table with oil. Give me that entry I want to see. I dare you. right? So right now for oil, just gotta be patient. Oil does not want me to take it. Take what? All right, buddy. I did say pause, man. Come on, don't do this to me. And then platinum, right? I don't even know if we could trade platinum. I've always traded silver and gold, but I've never looked at platinum. I'm gonna go look at my trade locker. Cause if I can't even trade this, then there's no point in me talking about it. Commodities. All right. All. What is this? XBT USD. I could trade the plat. All right. Cool. 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 He said jitty. All right, brother. All right. So platinum. Where are my markups? Damn. I lost the markups that I had for plat. Alright, all good. We'll just do it again, right? So on the daily, what the? Yo, I swear earlier we were able to mark this up, right? Or am I tripping? Alright, we'll just mark up the recent time, right? So we know that we're in an uptrend, right? We had a previous downtrend, but for some reason earlier today I was able to mark this up and now I can't. So I don't know, I can't go further back, but we knew that this was a second zone consolidation. That was a horrible line. All good. I'll drag it down. Right? We had the third push to the bottom. Wrong tool. Wrong tool. Eh. Right? We had the third push to the bottom. We had the second push up here. Right? And now we have the first push to the top side. The first zone of consolidation. And the second push to the top side. So we know that we're trading in level 2 on an uptrend. We're expecting price to give us another pullback, another zone of consolidation, and then another push to the top side to give us that level 3 push back to the top, right? And again, very similar to the other pairs. Instead of giving us a simple higher high, higher low to continue into a higher high, gave us a nice little zone of consolidation, right? Just a nice little zone of consolidation. And then on the 30-minute, price again, just in a zone of consolidation. So again, I'm either waiting for a rejection of the lows to go high, rejection of the lows to go high, right? Or I'm looking for price to give us a break retest to then continue back to the top side. So that's pretty much it, guys. Any questions? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to explain? Anything that didn't make sense that you guys want me to talk about or break down? Again, just let me know. We'll give you guys, what time is it? 7:43. We'll give you guys till 7:46. We'll give you 2 minutes. 7:44 now. 2 minutes. Any questions in the chat? Any specific pairs you want me to go over? Albert, are you good? Let me know if you want me to talk about anything. But again, just based on what you said earlier in the chat, there's really nothing to catch up on, right? The market conditions that we're currently in is just, as you can see, zones of consolidation for the most part for a lot of these pairs. So there's really nothing, not a lot to catch up on. You didn't really miss too much in the last couple of days, or last couple of weeks, I should say. But regardless, very similar to today. You know, I wake up in the morning as I always do. I'll turn the stream on, even though there's gonna be if there's no trades, I'll still turn the stream on. Similar to what we did today. If there's anything that we gotta talk about, we'll talk about it. If not, then it's gonna be an early morning. Nothing more, bro. Good night. All right, Mr. Bashir. Have a good rest of your night, my brother. Albert, you said yes, bro. I'm good. All right, perfect, Albert. No problem, my brother. You know, whenever you update your charts, if you ever have any, if you come across a question or anything, feel free to message me on Discord. You know, I'm always available. Alright, guys. Have a good rest of your night. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Peace out.